I'm not sure. Anyways, we will go further. Yeah. So, yeah, we were there on this slide. So I was talking about that how the intelligence may be sometimes overpowered by the mind, and then one may, the mind may give direction to the senses without actually taking the good advice of intelligence. It kinds of neglects the advice of intelligence like that. So this is typically called uncontrolled mind. Uncontrolled mind means what? The mind which acts on its own whims. It doesn't take the good advice of intelligence. So there could be various reasons why it happens. So one reason could be the intelligence doesn't have sufficient perspective to tell the mind. I mean, the intelligence may be weak itself. It doesn't have that kind of discrimination power between right and wrong. There are many situations where intelligence is helpless. Sometimes, in our situation, sometimes maybe like that. Our intelligence may be weak. It's not nourished. It is not so strong. So we may not. The intelligence may not even know also what is right and wrong. So our intelligence may be less. It may not have that wisdom at all. First, number one. Second, sometimes intelligence may have certain inputs to give, but the mind is so powerful, the mind kinds of overrides the intelligence. It overrules the intelligence. And that's how also sometimes even though intelligence may be saying, giving some good advice, still one may just follow the whimsical mind like that. One may just go ahead with the mind like that. And the situation when the intelligence takes the prominence and the mind actually is controlled by the intelligence, the discrimination which intelligence has, and then the senses could also be accordingly acted in a way which is benefiting the soul, in a way which is benefiting us. So that then our chariot of life can go in right direction. Why I'm saying chariot of life? Because the next slide is about the chariot. You can see the chariot of our body. So here you can see the senses. The horses are compared to the senses. The ropes are compared to the reins, the ropes are compared to the mind. And the person who's holding the ropes, he's compared to the intelligence, that is intelligence. And the person who is sitting in the chariot, the white dress he's wearing, so that person is actually the soul, right? And the whole chariot is actually compared to our body. So you see this. So now, if senses and the mind is controlled by the intelligence, then the whole chariot of our body can go in right direction. But imagine if the senses and mind they act whimsically, and intelligence doesn't have any power to control. So one situation could be there is no black person who is holding the rope, the reins. And second is the black person is there, the intelligence is there, but very weak. The horses and the ropes are just going the way it wants to go, whimsically, like that. So with both the situation, the whole chariot will be topsided and the passenger will be suffering. So now, coming to the point of practicality of this whole thing, you see, all of us, we face certain kind of temptations, right? So when temptations come, the temptations come in the form of sense objects, like the forms, the aromas, the sound, the sense of touch, and tasty food. Different varieties of sense objects may come. So when different sense objects come, different temptations come. So then so if we are not equipped with sufficient strong intelligence, which can actually clearly discriminate between right and wrong and help us to take the right decision, and accordingly we direct our mind and senses. If we are not able to do that, then we get into trouble. Yeah. So because we have to utilize our senses in the right direction, utilize our mind in the right direction. So that right and wrong, that is the work of intelligence. So that means the intelligence plays a very crucial role. So modern day scenario, you see, many times people have an idea that no, just do it, just go for whatever your mind says. You know, whatever you feel like. So all these feelings and all is there in the mind itself. Whatever you like, whatever you feel like, just do it. Just go for it. Don't compromise. It's all fine. Everything is okay. No. So this kind of thought process, this kind of ideas are coming. Especially in Western world, it is very much prevalent. This idea. People just think that okay, whatever you feel like is fine. And this kind of ideas come. But the point is that it doesn't actually serve the purpose. People may just go for whatever they feel like, but ultimately they end up into such great turmoils, great problems, great troubles. They find frustration, they find loneliness. People sometimes get into terrible problems, right? Like somebody may just go for drugs because he feels nice, but he gets into so much of drug, then he dies sometimes, or he completely spoils his health. He messes up his life, sometimes like that. So it's always very risky to just go with the whims of the mind. So whenever it's oh, I just feel like, oh, you feel like that's fine, but you have to also have the intelligence which backing up your decision what you're going to do. So if you are not able to analyze with intelligence whatever you're feeling or you're liking or you wanting to do, and you're not consciously making the choice which is benefiting you, then we may be in trouble like that. So intelligence needs to be nourished. So that's how in ancient Vedic time also the children were sent to Gurukul. The Gurukul basically means the place of the teacher, and they were taught in the they were taught the wisdom of the scriptures. They were taught the principles, and they were taught the values. So that would nourish their intelligence. And when the intelligence is nourished, based on that, they could actually make right decisions. What to be done, what not to be done. And that's how one could live a principle-centered life, which will lead one towards the real purpose of life, or towards the right path, like that, which is benefiting us that way. Because if everybody goes with the whims of the mind, then the whole life becomes topsy-turvy, gets messed up, and you can see the result of that in the today's scenario. Like we are actually messing up our society. The crime rates are increasing, suicide rates are increasing, people are getting more and more depressed. We are getting into so much of unhealthy lifestyles. So many things are happening, right? So this is the result of not having the nourished intelligence. So Srila Prabhupada, our great teacher, he would often say that the current society has become headless society. Headless society means there is no head, referring to there is no intelligence being used. Intelligence is not being used. Intelligence is neglected. Intelligence is not nourished, like that. So there may be intelligence, but it has become subservient to the mind. It is not discriminating rightly. So mind is overpowering. So intelligence is simply serving the whims of mind. You getting this point? So one may be intelligent, but is serving the whims of mind. That means the intelligence is not functioning with its real, function, as in to discriminate between right and wrong. That intelligence is not there. It's simply making plans to serve the whims of mind. So people are intelligent, but what they're doing, their intelligence is simply trying to serve the plan of their mind, the whims of their mind. So that is the problem, like that. So the intelligence should be nourished by the principles and values, which is often there in the scriptures by the saintly personalities, those personalities who are living the life of principles and values. So then the right intelligence, the nourished intelligence can actually help us, to direct the mind and senses in the right direction, like that. So moving further, yeah, so this is how it is. I've already told you this. Yeah, so mind is storehouse of thoughts and desires and all that. Yeah, okay. So now there are many positive and negative feelings may be there in the mind, like joy, love, hope, mercy, peace, honesty, all that. And negative feelings could be anger, stress, egoism, racism, laziness, revenge, carelessness, all that could be there, right? And there is, so these are storehouse of thoughts, like some necessary thoughts may be there, work, career, routine, profession, base thoughts, past, future, and all maybe. So this is how mind goes. So mind has unfulfilled desires and all that, and mind also goes by previous experiences. So there is also principle called Gigo principle, garbage in, garbage out. So your mind, uh, it works like that. So if you have given a good input to mind, the mind gives you some good proposals, good kind of thoughts. But if you have given wrong inputs to mind, then mind can give you wrong thoughts also. So that's why now currently our mind may be good or bad, whatever or combination, but we have to evaluate with the you know we have to evaluate our mind's whims or whatever the mind is proposing with intelligence. That is important. So then we can be safe. Otherwise, right now our mind no, may not be like 100% pure. It has mix. It has some good inputs, some bad inputs. So it brings out certain thoughts. It brings out certain kinds of proposals. But we cannot simply follow the whims of mind because the mind is not fully pure. It has still the virus of lust, anger, greed, pride, envy. There's so many negativities in the mind. It's not always very clear. Mind is quite cluttered with a lot of dirt also, right? So that's why it is important to take help of the intelligence, right intelligence, and then carefully, say no to certain proposals of mind and direct certain, I mean, proposals of mind, which can be benefiting to us. We are not against completely mind. We are not for the mind. We are actually wanting to see what is good for us. Accordingly, we want to make. We want to go ahead. It's like a child. We are not saying no to child. We are not saying yes to child. We want to see if the child's proposal is somewhat benefiting, then we are okay to accept some proposal of child, something like that. So child may not be very, he cannot be given all authority to just the whatever he say. Okay, he says his decision comes out. Okay, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to be educated. I don't want to be, I don't want to eat. I don't want to take medicine. Child may say anything. No, but we have to see, but the child's proposal, how that could be channelized in a way it is benefiting the child and overall is serving the purpose. But if it is not, like the child is sick, he's saying I don't want to take medicine, the child will die. So you cannot, as parents, you cannot say that okay, let him die, no problem. That is his decision, let him suffer. We cannot say like that. So we'll have to, actually direct the child accordingly. Same way, intelligence has to direct the mind according the right direction, like that. So how do we get scripts from where we get the kind of books you read, the kind of movies you see, kinds of music you listen, the kinds of friends you keep. So this all gives us our scripts. Yeah. So that's why we have to be choosy about all these inputs. Yeah. So garbage in, garbage out, it says. So we can change the conditioning of our mind by changing the scripts written in our minds. Yeah. Just like when you go to any place, then you just don't drink water from anywhere because it may have infections. You always prefer to have packaged drinking water, which is sure, short, pure. Same way, when you are exposing your mind to different things, then you have to be sure that it doesn't have any virus of lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, etc. So otherwise, you just expose yourself to anything, and then so much virus comes. Like I've heard, many American child they're exposed to so much of crime. They watch in the movies just right from the childhood. Sometimes parents are not so cautious about it, and then they develop certain kind of inimical feelings, anger, negativities, and that brings a lot of bad from within. So they become sometimes very much susceptible to such kind of uh, criminal thoughts. It happens. Same way they are sometimes exposed to certain things too early, which is not right, and then they have certain those negativities. So like that, it happens. So that's why one has to be very careful, whom we are exposing ourselves to, where we are exposing what all things to our mind. So we have to be very careful about it. So we have to be very cautious and expose the mind to the right things, good things, by which we can have healthier inputs and better mind also. So now already our mind may be having certain negativity. So how to rectify that? There is a way to rectify our impurities of our mind, the dirt of our mind. So there is it's called mantra. Mantra means in Sanskrit, it's called mantra. Mantra means manastrayate iti mantra. That which relieves the mind of negativities is called mantra. In Sanskrit, mantra, that which relieves the mind of all negativity is called mantra. And meditation, that means you are focusing your mind on the sound of the mantra. You're focusing your mind on the sound of the mantra. So when you do that, then that sound does the magic and it purifies your mind from the negativities. Sound has a lot of power. Sound has a lot of power. And this sound is not ordinary sound, it is spiritual sound. So the mantra it goes like this. No, yeah, it mantra, manastra, it Hare. So mind, it delivers the mind. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when you chant this mantra, it actually purifies your mind. It helps your mind to get freed from the negativities, from lust, anger, greed, pride. So your mind becomes better. You getting your mind becomes better. So the automatic response when the sense object uh, is confronted by the senses, then the signal goes to the mind starts processing, and then the mind may give you better proposals. It may give you better thoughts because the mind is more purified. Still, we always keep the intelligence on guard to always be sure, you know, so that we can always see, okay, the proposal final check should be with the intelligence. But still, your job is much easier because your mind gives out better proposals once it is purified, when it is pure. So that's why one of the see one thing is to have proper intelligence, good intelligence. That is one thing which we have to work on. Second thing is we also have to work on purifying our mind. Of course, we also have to work on not exposing our mind to unnecessary wrong inputs so that we don't further pollute the mind. So we don't want to further pollute our mind. We want to purify our mind, and we also want to have good intelligence. We also want to have better and better intelligence, strong intelligence. So all these things we have to work on parallelly. You getting? So good intelligence, not unnecessarily exposing the mind to the wrong inputs and purifying the mind. Correct? Purifying the mind also. So this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you can repeat after me, this mantra. So this is powerful sound vibration. It is spiritual sound. So you can say Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Excuse me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama.
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
So have you been familiar with this Mahamantra before?
Yes, I've heard it before.
You have heard it before. Okay. What about you, Nancy? Have you heard it before?
Yeah. I mean, you know,
It's not something, sorry,
hung
go ahead.
around with Hindu people, not Hindu, sorry. Yeah, for 10 years. So yes, I heard it a lot.
Yeah, I've
Oh,
heard it, but I've never used it before.
okay. You have heard it 10 years before, Nancy?
No, I had many Nepali friends. I've been to Nepal a couple of times, so I've I've used it a little bit.
Oh, you have chanted this. You have chanted it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good, good. And what about you? I mean, so you have not chanted, but you have been familiar. You have read it in Bhagavad Gita, I believe.
I'm
I've
sorry.
chanted it a little bit, not for a really long time, but with friends and stuff when they.
Okay. And you, Amy, you have sometimes chanted it?
I have not chanted this mantra. I've heard it a lot, but I have not chanted it.
Oh, where you
Except
heard
in
it?
kirtans. In kirtans, I've chanted it, but it's never been really a part of my practice.
Okay.
But I
Where
will
you have
start. I'll start doing it.
okay, where in Kirtan you did it? Which place?
Oh,
I mean,
at kirtan in Northampton.
oh, in the temple?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. You have been going to temple there?
I went for a long time, but I have not been recently.
Okay, okay. You lost touch. Okay.
I lost touch, yes.
Okay. Do you know some devotees also there?
my horses ran away from me. I let go of the reins for a minute and my horses ran away from me.
Your courses ran away from you.
Yes,
Horses. Okay. Your
She's
horses
making
ran away.
my horses
Okay. Okay.
ran away from me.
Okay. Senses. Okay. Horses. Okay. No issues. But you know some devotees there?
I'm sorry?
Do you know any devotees there? Devotees in the sense, any those practitioners?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Can you name some of them if you know their names?
Uh, Nagaraja.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
no, sorry, I'm slipping on the names except for Nagaraja.
How long before? I mean, how much before you had been in touch with them?
Oh, it was pretty long ago. It was about 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
And I used to go to the temple and study Sanskrit and stuff. I did that for maybe 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
But
Okay,
chanting
so
this mantra was not a big part of that. I've really only heard it in kirtans, in Northampton.
okay, but it was not part of your life. You are not like chanting on
No,
your own.
it has not been part of my life.
Mhm. So maybe you can try this because it's a very foolproof. Many Westerners, not only Westerners, people from all over the world, they have chanted this mantra and they have got very practical results, very
Hmm.
tangible results in terms of becoming more peaceful. They have got better, mind, purer mind, and in fact, that even nourishes the intelligence also. Amazing. It works on all levels, though it's
I
mainly
will
purified.
try it. I'll try it.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
yeah. So if you can do it, so you can do how you can chant, maybe like you can take out 10 minutes time and you can just chant straight like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. You can take out like say maybe 15 minutes and you can just chant like that.
Hmm.
And later I
Okay.
will teach you how to chant on beats also. I'll teach you. Once I come to Boston, maybe if we can travel to Boston, that would be good. We can have like kind of one, get together kind of, and then we can
I would
explain
love
it.
to do that, but I'll have to arrange transportation because I'm disabled and I won't be able to get there by myself. But
Mhm.
I can try to find somebody to bring me. I would
Yeah,
love
if
to
it
do
works out.
that. I would love to
Yeah,
get together with you. So
if
it's
it's
just logistically, it's difficult logistically, but I'll try
no
to figure
problem.
it out. What?
Okay, no problem. That's not. I mean, that's not of our immediate concern. That's all right. I just spoke. But what I'm saying is that you can continue with 15 minutes of chanting every day.
Mm.
That would actually be of great help. And in future, I will try to see how you can get the beats. So then I'll
Okay.
teach you how to chant on the beats. If you are able to come to temple and have kind of get together, is good. Otherwise, maybe we can post it also. Or something we can work it out. That way
All
we will do
right.
it.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What about you, Nancy? You'd be comfortable to do it like 10 to 15 minutes? Would be okay for you?
Sorry?
Would you be able to try this chanting Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare? Maybe like 10 to 15 minutes of your day, a
Sure,
day.
I'll give it a shot, as we say.
Sorry,
Yeah, yeah, sure.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
I appreciate. Yeah, because that way you get a very hands-on practical experience of becoming more purified and have more positivity in your life like that.
right. Right. Amy, I can drive you to
Oh,
Boston
right.
sometime.
You live in Northampton, right?
I do.
Oh,
So,
that's perfect. So yeah, maybe we could
I
you
don't
could
know
drive.
when, but maybe in a few weeks or so.
Okay. I would love that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What about you, Connell? Connell, what about you? I did not hear from you. Are you okay with this
Yeah,
mantra?
sure.
Connell, Can you hear me, Kanal? You have
Oh,
to unmute and maybe you have to put your video also
he
on.
kind of disappeared. I don't see his thing there.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
his
see him
name is
either. I think you might have left.
no, he's there. He's there. I'm seeing him, but I
Oh,
think
you
he's not.
are?
Oh, I don't see him at all.
Me either.
Okay. I think he's not in position to reply maybe. Okay. Okay, no issues. Okay. So let's move further. So hippies, they became happies through this mantra meditation. Hippies, basically in 1960s, 1970s, there are so many hippies. They were into all kinds of varieties of, activities which were kind of being very detrimental for them. Like they were too much into drugs, too much of, into intoxications and yeah, and so many, things they were into, and they got actually very purified eventually, and they became very pure, and they could have a very pure lifestyle. Not only that, they became the agents of happiness for others, you know. So they were so empowered
Hey, I'm a
eventually.
child of the 60s.
Sorry?
Nothing. I grew up in the 60s, so I'm very familiar with them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you must have seen all these people, hippies, basically. Hippies, no? They were like kind of very
The Beatles.
yeah, typical people who were into some kind of counterculture and just rejecting the society and getting into all varieties of activities which were kind of messing up the whole thing. And so even the America was getting uh, into so much of anxiety how to handle these fellows hippies. It was becoming a headache. But Srila Prabhupada, our great teacher, when he came to West, he reformed them and he made them such faithful, wonderful followers of Vedic tradition and not converted, but transformed their hearts. It was like a heart transforming experience for them. They became very wonderful, pure human beings, actually, devotees of the Lord. And that's how they helped, even taking this mantra and the message of Bhagavad Gita to many people, all over the world. And the whole Hare Krishna exploded through these initial hippies, those who became happies. Yes, that's what happened. Just by chanting this Hare Krishna mantra. So let's now further see some practical benefits of chanting Hare Krishna and purifying our mind and understanding the knowledge of the soul, what we have discussed so far in last some sessions. So, what are the practical benefit of understanding this concept of soul, that I'm not the body, I'm soul? So what are the practical benefits? Like the kinds of the differences, like Hindu versus Muslim, white versus black, rich versus poor, educated versus illiterate, all these differences will go because we know all these things, beautiful, ugly, all these things are simply superficial differences. We are not the body, we are soul. So soul is not Hindu or Muslim, white or black, rich or poor, educated, illiterate, beautiful, ugly. No, the soul is beyond all this. So what unites us is the understanding of soul, so all of us can be together then. You see, all the people from different walks of life, from different nations, different color, caste, creed, they're all coming together and chanting Hare Krishna. They're participating in Bhakti Yoga. So that is the glory of understanding this concept of soul, our real identity that unites us. Same way we can rise above our inferiority complex because we know understand that oh, I'm not black, short, ugly, poor. No, all these things are superficial deficiencies in me. That is not in me; it's in my body, either gross or subtle. But the soul has its real glory. So if I only practice spiritual life, bhakti yoga, then I can bring out the real glory of the soul, and that's how I can be very happy, full of love and joy and serenity and compassion for others, everything can have. So all these defects are superficial in my body. It's not part of my happy and healthy soul. So I'm not his body, but a pure soul with abundant potential. That's how you become positive. You rise above inferiority complex. You also develop positive attitude towards life. No? So you don't think that everybody's, you don't simply just judge people and label them. He's selfish, he's lazy, he's crazy. No, no, you actually see how other people are also having superficial defects in their bodies. And if I can help them to become transformed, then they can be very good people. So you develop tolerance and patience, considering everyone to be potentially good. So no wisdom that everyone is originally a part and parcel of Supreme, but now they are covered up. So now they're covered up. So so actually, yeah. So yeah, everybody's selfish to see how he's not cooperating with me. I feel lonely and concerned. I think I also should learn to become selfish and harsh and arrogant to survive and grow in life. Then I'm sure others who am. So these are all negative thoughts. But when you see others, the others' defects as superficial and and beneath the potential of the soul, potential of the person to be so good, then you will be able to tolerate and have patience and help them, with compassion, by which they can actually come to their real glory of the soul, like that. So right with the resources also. So because we see everything and everyone connected to God, then we will not want to exploit anything, but rather we want to see how everything is engaged in the service of the Lord. So yeah, so I will teach the culture of sharing all resources of the supreme intelligence amongst all its creatures. Then there will not be then there will be no poverty in our country, like that. Yeah. So we'll give up our selfishness and we will become selfless and see that how everything can be engaged in the service of God and everyone, for the benefit of everyone, in the service of God, like that we'll see. So this is a nice poem. I am a tiny Jiva, not the ultimate God, but a tiny part of parcel, servant of the Lord. Leaving Lord's company, forced to be born in pain, the world filled with agony again and again. Krishna is my Lord, the source of all existence. His form is imperishable, full of six opulences. He pays a visit to this world out of his own sweet will to please and protect his devotees and punish the evil. I am only Brahman, but Krishna is Para Brahman. My power is limited, his potencies are unlimited. I can make a swimming pool, creates oceans. I can fly a rocket, but God floats huge planets. I can invent a dome light, but God creates moonlight. We make ordinary dolls, but the Lord made us all. Lord is the actual doer. I am just an imitator. Lord is omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient, who deserves everyone's love and humble service. I am a tiny jiva cast in oceanic material world. Lord, the greatest of all, let us accept this fact at heart. We are his tiny servants. Let's realize and serve him with joy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This ends our session here, first session. We'll continue with our future sessions later next week. But
Can I
if
ask you one quick question though?
yes,
What
yeah, we
is
have
Jiva? What is Jiva? He kept saying, I'm just a
soul,
little Jiva.
soul,
Yeah.
the person, soul, because the
Oh,
Lord is,
Jiva is soul. Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
The soul which is right now trapped in this body and is struggling, your jiva.
Hmm. Okay.
Yes. So there's sometimes it's called jiva soul. Yeah. So Lord is a super soul. He's a big soul. We are jiva soul. They're small soul.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
we have our eternal individual existence. It's not that jiva soul merges into big soul. We will discuss about it now. It's jiva soul can be liberated from all the negativities and can have a loving relationship with the super soul, the Lord, and can find unlimited happiness, in that real existence of having exchanges of love I mean, between the Jiva and the God. So that is the
Okay.
eternal reality. And
All
that is the
right.
purpose
Thank
of
you.
any other question, any other reflection?
No. Oh,
Uh,
Connell's still there.
yeah, is
Just
there
says thank
any
you.
other question or reflection? Anyone of you like to?
No. Okay. Thank you.
Would you like to, Amy, any reflection? Any question?
Sorry.
Amy, would you like to have any reflection further? Any reflection, any question?
Um, I mean, it just is very helpful to think about. And so I'm guessing that in order to strengthen the intelligence part, then I should like chant and study scriptures, right? What if
Yes.
that is how you strengthen the intelligence part?
Yeah, I think
And
I did not speak about it. Yeah. So
and
intelligence can
that's
be nourished by reading scriptures, like by reading Bhagavad Gita. Like right now, what we are doing, we are trying to discuss Bhagavad Gita's concept. That's how our intelligence is getting nourished, right? In
okay.
fact,
And
that
that's
whole
and that's how you tame the mind.
yes, that's how you tame your mind. That's true. That's how you tame your mind. Because when the intelligence is strong, you have that clarity, then you can say no to the wrong proposals of mind. You know that's
Hmm.
not good. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I need a little bit of that, so that's good.
Sorry,
I said I need a little bit of that, so that's good.
you need
We
little bit
all,
of.
we all need a little bit of that.
I couldn't get. I'm sorry, I could not get you. You need little
Oh,
bit of.
I was just saying I need a little of that. I need to tame my mind a little bit.
Oh, all of us, all of
Yeah,
us, all of us
yeah.
need that. All of us need that.
Right.
Yeah, because our mind yet is not yet fully purified. See, we are not like our mind is not like completely bad, and it's not like fully pure. It's like in between. Different varieties of dirts are there, impurities are there. So we need to work on that. So by chanting
Mhm.
Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it purifies. And when the mind becomes completely pure, then automatically mind will give you always good proposal. But that stage is a bit far. No, it's not so easy to immediately get purified mind. So that's why we should always be on guard with intelligence. So intelligence
Mhm.
should be simultaneously nourished, and we should protect ourselves not to get into wrong direction. Because our mind may want to do something, but we should not just hear the mind. In fact, scriptures say that one should become
So
expert
the
in
so the
disobeying.
intelligence is, I'm sorry, so the intelligence is the person holding the reins, and then the
Yes,
soul is the rider. So is the
yes,
soul just watching this?
yes. Soul is the real owner of the whole thing. Actually, it is God, but the soul becomes helpless, no, because soul is misidentifying with with the spell of false ego.
Mm-hmm.
Souls, souls is influenced, just like say when you are driving the car,
Mm-hmm.
somebody may come inside the car sitting next to you, and it can influence you.
Yeah.
It can influence you. So it's your car, you are the owner, but somebody sitting next to you, can influence you like that. So mind
Yeah.
is like that sometimes. So uncontrolled mind is like that. So uncontrolled mind can influence. So even though you are the owner, but because you get influenced, so you just simply follow the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Simply follow that person. That is the problem actually. So mind is like a terrorist. No? So there are terrorist kind of negativities in our mind which influences. That's how the soul becomes helpless. That's why we have to empower ourselves. Empower self means what? Empowering the soul. That means knowing our identity as soul, I'm part and parcel of God. I'm a very powerful, sacred and glorious soul, servant of God. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
supposed to suffer by the influences of mind. So I'm supposed to actually dictate this mind and senses in a way which helps me to get fully freed from all these entanglements. So this
Mm-hmm.
is how the spiritual knowledge and the practices can empower the soul. You getting to
Yeah,
and
thank you.
bring out the real glory of the soul. Because right now we are not having that healthy state. We as a soul are kind of influenced, covered, and we are misidentifying ourselves as servants of mind. We
Mm-hmm.
think that whatever mind says I should follow. We think like that. People say, no, oh, my mood is not there. So mood means what? It's mind. So we people become moody because they become servant of their mind. So they
Mm-hmm.
think whatever mind says I should do it. What people think. Whatever mind says I should.
I get
This is what people think. But we shouldn't be, simply servant of. We should not be servant of mind. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the peon. Peon, you understand? The peon in a company, a big multinational company. There's a peon, and he tells the owner, the CEO of the company, "Hey, come here, please. Hey, come." He shouts at him, and he says, "Now, just polish my shoes." He said, and that owner of the company is polishing the shoe of the peon. So it is such an awkward situation. You see, he's influenced. He's not supposed to get influenced, but he gets influenced. It's up to his I mean, he's like that. He just gets influenced. So actually, owner can say back, "Hey, forget it. You're the peon. No, I don't want to hear. You follow what I'm saying." So same way,
Mhm.
soul is supposed to direct the intelligence and mind and senses towards the ultimate goal of life. And the soul can be
Okay.
held by God. Soul can be held by God and representatives of God. So we have to take help of the God and God's representatives, scriptures, and empower the soul to help ourselves to get rid of this cycle of karma and cycle of birth and death, and get reinstated in our original position as loving servants of God.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So
Hare
I hope,
Krishna.
I pray that all of you be successful in your attempt to chant every day, minimum 15 minutes. That will be very nice. You will surely give me a lot of positive uh, reflections about your chanting experience next week. I'm pretty sure about it. Only thing is you should make sure that you do it maybe 15 minutes. So then you'll have wonderful experience, and then you can reflect on it and share with me your experiences next week. I'll be looking forward to hear from all of you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thanks. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.